This is Middle East Brief with Avi Kaner, your daily intelligence update on what actually matters.
Most of the pre-speech predictions were wrong. Trump's address on Iran wasn't about a headline. Here's what actually matters. Going into the speech, the focus was on what he might announce: escalation, de-escalation, a clear plan. But that framing missed the point. This was about signaling. Trump did not lock himself into one path. Instead, he emphasized pressure, optionality, and timing. But more importantly, this is not about being prepared to act. It is about already acting while keeping options open. Operations are ongoing. Pressure is already being applied. And the message is that this can escalate further if needed, not just additional strikes, but potentially more direct operations targeting critical nodes like Carg Island or nuclear infrastructure, options that have been actively discussed, even if not formally announced. That combination creates leverage, and it keeps adversaries uncertain. That is the real takeaway. Overnight, reactions followed a familiar pattern. In the United States, supporters framed the speech as strong and decisive. Critics focused on what they saw as a lack of detail. Iranian messaging leaned toward dismissal and warning, reinforcing a narrative of resistance and endurance. But something else happened overnight. Unsubstantiated claims began circulating online, including allegations that Israel was targeting Iranian negotiators. These claims spread rapidly across social platforms. They were amplified, repeated, and presented as fact, but they remain unverified. This is exactly how the disinformation layer operates: speed over accuracy, amplification over verification, narrative over fact. And once these claims take hold, they begin to shape perception regardless of their validity. Across media and social platforms, much of the coverage still focused on headlines: what was announced, what was not announced. Early analysis split along familiar lines. Some focused on claims of success, others on lack of clarity, but both are still looking for a headline. This wasn't a headline speech. It was a positioning speech. The signal is in how the message was constructed, not in any single line. Meanwhile, the underlying dynamics have not changed. The regime continues to rely on oil revenue and strategic lifelines like Carg Island. It continues to operate through proxies, including Hezbollah in Lebanon, and it continues to suppress its own population internally, using the IRGC and the Basij militia to control unrest. This includes increasingly aggressive enforcement measures, even involving younger recruits in internal security roles. At the same time, U.S. posture in the region remains elevated. Forces are positioned, options remain open, and pressure continues to build. This is not a moment of resolution. It is a moment of shaping. Here's the key point. The speech was not designed to end the situation. It was designed to influence it, to signal capability, to preserve flexibility, and to force reactions from multiple actors. The bottom line, most of the pre-speech predictions were looking for a headline. What they missed was the strategy. And overnight, the information battlefield made that even harder to see.
This is Middle East Brief with Avi Kaner. If you want clarity, not noise, follow and share. Continue the conversation on X at Avi Kaner. Back tomorrow.